So, looks like the players are about.
So it's Neil battling in the Mono Black Zombies deck. 4-0 in Mono Black Zombies.
Yeah.
Pretty awesome. There are actually two Mono Black Zombie decks at 4-0 right now.
Yeah, I think they may have worked together. I gathered that from Twitter, although I could be incorrect. So Evolving Wilds from Nick, and
turn 1 Gravecrawler. And Nicholas decides to crack his Evolving Wilds, and let's see if he gets a Forest.
So yeah, when Innistrad came out, it was kind of clear that that they were pushing zombies to some degree, but not until Dark Ascension was released do we have enough zombies to possibly actually make a viable deck, and I guess we're going to find out. Neil certainly seems to think it's strong enough to battle with, and both players here at 4-0.
That is a Beta Forest on the left, and a Mirage Forest on the right.
That was Mirage one, yeah. Birds of Paradise, signed by someone. Possibly Mark Poole.
I would assume so. Never know that. Ooh, and a Mortar Pod.
All right, so he's got
nice
Gravecrawler,
go with that.
Mortar Pod,
yep.
and immediately gets rid of the bird. Very nice. Meanwhile, Gravecrawler, obviously into the red zone. Dungrove Elder from Nicholas on turn 3. Neil has...
and Dungrove Elder at this point still just trades with that Gravecrawler.
Yeah, and Neil is happy to do that.
A little confused by a mountain.
Yeah, he's like, you know that mountain doesn't count towards Dungrove's toughness and power, right?
Liliana of the Veil. Going to make Nicholas sacrifice that Dungrove Elder, and Nicholas' deck has no haste creatures and no way to deal any direct damage, so
yeah, this
Liliana's going to do some work.
Second Dungrove Elder.
Also a 2/2.
Yeah, with Kessig Wolf Run as the 4th land from Nicholas.
Yeah, now this Liliana is actually really powerful in Neil's deck. Neil can +1 that Liliana and discard cards like Gravecrawler, and gain like a pretty significant advantage in that regard.
Looks like instead he gets Cemetery Reaper.
And he's going to get in there for 3 damage this time with Gravecrawler. Now, even if Nicholas is able to play another Forest, the Gravecrawler will still be able to kill it. +2 to Liliana. And let's see what Nicholas decides to discard. He discards a Gravecrawler, which he'll return to play. And
nice.
We're watching the Mono Black Zombie deck work with all of its cogs.
Yeah, it's really, this is exactly how you want the Zombies deck to run. Doesn't hurt that the Dungroves aren't full power because of the two non-forest lands over there.
Yeah, I mean, that actually made Nicholas take a lot of damage that he wouldn't have had to otherwise.
He's going to lose that Dungrove Elder if he doesn't play another creature here. But the funny thing, all right, well, tapping 5, got a Garruk, and that'll give him a beast. So he doesn't have to sacrifice the Dungrove Elder. As long as Neil's not playing any, removal in his black deck. 4 Tragic Slip, 4 Smallpox. I think he's probably got some ways to.
All right, Neil can swing with Wanton Disregard at this point because his Gravecrawlers can just come back over and over.
Yeah, and if he's got like something like Tragic Slip, he can swing in, let his Gravecrawler die, Tragic Slip the beast, and then -2 Liliana, trade the Liliana for the Dungrove Elder.
I'm surprised he played the Swamp there. I might have slow rolled it a bit. The Liliana's in the deck. It doesn't really have much that's 2 mana intensive.
Second Mortar Pod.
Oh, and uses it right away?
Looks like it. What do you target?
Targeted Nicholas, putting Nicholas down to 12, thus activating Morbid and giving his beast -13, -13. He's going to use Liliana's ability, and he's going to Now he can get rid of this Garrick and deal Nicholas another 3 damage.
That's pretty sick. Yeah, kill Garrick. Hit you.
Yeah.
Wow. And Gravecrawler picks up a Mortar Pod. One of the
Nicholas down to
Gravecrawlers.
9 now.
Yeah,
He actually could have had Nicholas down to 4 with Mortar Pod or Gravecrawler in play, which, you know, might have even been better. But at this point, I think he's just got it. All right. A couple of Gravecrawlers going to get into the red zone here.
So Nick did add a Strangleroot Geist to the board. Nicholas, sorry. He may not prefer to be called Nick.
Really? It's just attacking him in 1? Doesn't seem to make much sense.
Looks like he's trying to think about it, and he's trying to figure out what he wants to do here.
I think he'd at least equip the Mortar Pod first. Yeah, I think his opponent was trying to give him the no takebacks, but he's definitely not. He's allowed to. It's not like he declared an attack. He turned it sideways and then turned it back. At this rules ELO, it's not the Pro Tour.
Yeah, even if it wasn't real clear that he was attacking with just that anyway. Like,
yeah,
just because you turn something sideways doesn't mean like stop. That's it. That's your only attacker. You have to tap them all at the same time. Yeah, you know, I don't know what he said. Maybe he said something different, but
yeah, so Nicholas is going to fall down to 6, and Cemetery Reaper going to remove the Strangler Geist from the graveyard with the
Undying trigger
on the stack. Yeah. Very nice interaction that Cemetery Reaper has against the Strangler Geist.
Takes care of that Undying really well.
Gets 2/2 zombie, and then he can pay another 1, and that Gravecrawler comes right back. Neil cast a
3/3 zombie,
Diregraph Ghoul.
Because of the Cemetery Reaper. So instead of Nicholas having a 3-power guy off his Strangleroot Geist, Neil gets it. It died and came back. It just came back as a zombie on Neil's side of the board. I like that flavor there too.
Yeah.
Cemetery Reaper taking the bodies and making them zombies.
All right, Neil, nice, doing very well with this mono black zombie deck.
Yeah,
that deck
this
seems
is
awesome.
exciting. Yeah, it's almost like it almost. You know, I don't know.
On Pro Tour when you get to watch mono black zombies here.
Right, exactly.
SCG Live. Brains. Now,
I know. Shouldn't that be the deck name?
Definitely. Now, in Nicholas's sideboard, I'm looking for cards that he might want to bring in. Doesn't look like he has much in the way of anti-zombie stuff. He has some Whip Flares, but I mean, are Whip Flares really that good when your opponent is, like...
just getting their guys back?
Yeah, just Gravecrawlering, Mortar Potting. Also, Whip Flare doesn't seem very synergistic with all the birds and elves in his own deck. I think Nicholas's best chance of winning here is a Sword of Feast and Famine sticking onto a creature.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be big. And we've seen that sword now, you know, be a key card in multiple matches today.
Mm-hmm. But the thing is if Nicholas decides to side in those Whip Flares, which it's looking like he's going to, then he opens himself up and really, you know, his bigger guys, like his cards like Thrun, his cards like Dungrove Elder, they become much worse against the cards that Neil has, Liliana and Smallpox.
Right.
And suddenly these cards that have hexproof that are, you know, traditionally very hard to deal with are really, really easy to deal with for Neil's deck, and Neil's deck is really well poised for Nicholas to bring in those Whip Flares. And the Whip Flares may actually spell defeat for Nicholas, if anything.
Yeah, that's interesting.
It's hard to know that, though. Remember, he doesn't know what's in his opponent's deck.
Exactly. Now, you know, obviously the Neil has Tragic Slip as well, which, you know, not so great against the hexproof creatures, but, you know, having that available if somebody, if he gets a Whip Flare against him and there's something, you know, that's non-hexproof hanging out, like the Bellowing Tangleworm or something, that wouldn't die to the Whip Flare, could be relevant. Well, maybe that's a little too narrow. I wonder if he shaves down some of those Tragic Slips or if he keeps them all. I mean, it seems too good to just keep to kill like birds. things like that. You almost want birds and elves. You want to get rid of them early.
Everything. Yeah, I mean Neil's sideboard is almost entirely live in every matchup. I think it really just comes down to how much he's played the deck, and he just wants to get the numbers right against everything.
Right.
Because I mean these are cards that are not like obviously strong in any like particular situation, and
they're not obviously
more kind of like
either.
Feel cards where you can like move your deck around and make it like better against controlling decks if you're on the play or if you're on the draw. Better, and I like sideboards like this. Sideboards that really just let you like mold your deck into the type of mono black deck
that you need. Yeah, exactly. It's like the idea of like the 75 card deck. It's these 75, these 15 I don't play game one, but you kind of rebuild a deck from that pool.
Yeah, and I think that's a really important thing when people are constructing their decks. Too often you see people whose sideboards are just 4-4-3, and a lot of the time when you're playing against different decks, you realize that there are only 3 cards in your deck that you want to take out. So playing 4 of a sideboard card is just kind of a waste of space because you end up taking out a card that's already good against them.
Yeah.
So if you can really figure out these numbers and mold everything correctly, you can end up with a deck that's a really like well-oiled machine that knows what it wants to do in each of these matchups, instead of a deck that instead of taking your sideboard cards that are good for something, shoving them in and looking through your deck for cards to take out.
Yeah.
Because when you do that, you're normally putting yourself at a pretty big disadvantage.
Yeah, this is pretty awesome. I want to see Black Cat on the board.
So do I.
I like Black Cat. It's a really cool card.
It is a good card. I don't know. It seems like it's bad luck to play a card like Black Cat in your deck, though.
Yeah, but if
I don't know if I could bring myself to do that.
I don't know, but like, see, the thing is,
but it crosses the path of your opponent.
That's right. It's bad luck for them to see Black Cat crossing their path when they have to play against it, right?
You're
summoning the cat. You're on the cat's team.
You're on the cat's team.
You gave that cat existence.
Yeah. You summoned him.
Exactly.
Into the world.
He's like your pet. That cat loves you. Theoretically. Just show it where the litter box is as soon as you play it, so you're all good.
Man, if we had Mary Jacobson versus Neil Michalares, we could have like a cat versus dog battle.
Oh wow, yeah. Maybe that might end up coming out. Both.
Yeah.
I don't know how Mary Jacobson is doing right now, but she was X&O at the time. That she was what, 3-0 at the time?
She was 3-0, so she may be 4-0 playing this round. She may be 3-1. Tournament hall still packed. 636 players today here in Cincinnati.
Yeah, and that's
Ohio.
not including all the people here just like playing side events, drafts.
Yeah, there are tons of people here who are
just EDH and cubing and things like that. Like
out to game.
So many people here right now. All right, so there's the turn 1. Is that Diregraph Ghoul?
It is. It's Diregraph Ghoul. Nicholas on the play last game, again, starting with an Evolving Wilds. This game again on the play with an Evolving Wilds. And that Evolving Wilds does hurt these green decks. The deck's playing 4 Llanowar Elves and 4 Birds of Paradise. Alright. Let's see. Nicholas has
turn 2, Strangleroot Geist. It's not the only guy playing with zombies. Is Strangleroot Geist a zombie? I guess it's a geist. It's a spirit.
I'd like our announcer to ask the judge to ask Nicholas how many cards are in his hand. I counted 6 when he flicked through his hand, and that would mean he drew an extra card. Yes, please.
Strangleroot Geist is a spirit.
Okay, maybe it's only 5.
Skursdag High Priest there.
Yeah, Skursdag High Priest, pretty cool card. Makes 5/5 demons. And demons are awesome.
Yeah, they like to hang out with the zombies apparently.
Again, yeah, I'd like to see if I could have a judge. Fine. Oh, okay, it's being asked for now. Okay, good.
I see 6 right now.
You see 6 right now too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and this is turn. This is his turn 3. Wouldn't that make sense? Right, 7, and then he drew 3 because he wasn't on the play; he was on the draw. Oh, you were counting Nicholas or Neil?
Nicholas.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was counting Neil.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, if he has 6 now, that's fine. If he's had. Okay, he's fine though. I think he's fine. So he's had 3 turns, correct, or has he had 4 turns?
He played Evolving Wilds and then Strangleroot Geist. Oh no, he may have drawn an extra card. He's got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Oh, he only has 5 in hand.
Yeah.
Okay, if he has 5 in hand, he's fine. I counted 6 because the way he kept riffling through it, it kept seeming like 6. So it's from my angle, but I'm just trying to be.
Yeah, right. Just
trying to make sure
catch
that
any sort
everything's
of
okay.
errors. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so we are good then, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, there's a tragic slip for the Llanowar Elf.
Let's see, he's trying to draw another land.
I think he was trying to show us it was just 1 card.
All right. And here he's probably going to try to stick a Sword of Feast and Famine.
He does.
And that's really good.
Geist gets in.
All right, Neil dropping out of 14. And this is a dangerous spot for Neil. I mean, if that sword sticks, he's in a world of hurt.
Yeah, he needs a way to get rid of that Geist, but he needs 2 ways to get rid of that Geist.
Yeah. One instant speedway would be good enough so long as Nicholas doesn't draw a land on his next turn, but I'm not sure if that's actually how it's going to play out. All right. Nicholas falling down to 13 here from an attack from Screwside, High Priest, and Diregraph Ghoul, and it's looking like Neil's really flooded over there.
Shouldn't he be at 12? Isn't that right? And Diregraph Ghoul 2/2?
Yeah.
So 2, 3. So he takes 3 there.
All right. Gets to equip Sword of Feast and Famine. And
Does he have? He doesn't have. No, he doesn't have like instant speed edict. What is it? Geth's Verdict.
Yeah, another Strangleroot Geist.
Oh, that's big. 6 damage into the red zone. Dungrove Elder.
Dungrove Elder, just a 3/3 again. And it's looking like Neil's in a really rough spot this game.
Yeah, I don't know what he has that could get him out of this position.
Yeah,
Unless
like even a
he's
Black
got, what,
Sun
land
just isn't
Black
very
Sun
good right
Zenith?
now. I think he has the Black Sun Zenith in hand. But
He has land. Well, land Black Sun kills the Dungrove Elder, right? And then brings back 2 bigger Geists, I guess, which is
yeah,
pretty
and then he
bad.
just equips the sword and kills him.
Yeah, not gonna work.
We have not seen the Wolf Runs and the Redlands do anything but hurt Nicholas thus far.
Yeah,
I wonder
that's
how
true.
they've treated him in this tournament. He does have access to a Primeval Titan that he can Green Sun Zenith for also. So he's added a new dimension to the deck that kind of gives it an endgame element.
He's only got 1 mountain and 2 Kessig Wolf Runs, but it seems like he's drawing them. I mean, he's drawn a Kessig Wolf Run here. He drew 1 last game along with his mountain. I mean, you got to think odds are he's going to have he's going to have more forests, or a lot more forests than we've been seeing in these last 2 games.
And a Giralf's Messenger from Neil, along with a Smallpox.
All right, both players sacrifice a creature.
Discard a card, sacrifice a land.
Oh, discards the Primeval Titan.
Charles Messenger back. Now 4/3. Nicholas loses another 2. And
it still looks like Nicholas has this game, doesn't it?
Yeah. I think he can force some blocks here.
Oh.
And a second copy of Sword of Feast and Famine comes down.
Can't equip it though, so I don't know if that's going to be super relevant or he just wanted to spend some mana here.
Yeah, now Neil's got some problems. It's a shame that he drew that Smallpox so late.
Yeah, that would have been great
so if his
earlier.
opponent stuck on lands, he would have been able to do a lot of damage there. Nicholas pondering his options, deciding what he's going to leave back. Decides to just attack for 4, putting Neil on a 2-turn clock, but Neil cannot block, so he's able to untap all of his lands.
Yeah, probably maybe move, put the sword on something. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I like that also. Now, makes it really difficult for Nicholas to apply any pressure to him. I'm interested to see what happens, and Neil just packs it in.
Yeah, that time the zombies weren't flowing. The brains weren't flowing.
Yeah, I mean, Nicholas stumbled a lot, but Neil got mana flooded. And the fact that Nicholas recovered from his stumbling before Neil was able to get out of that flood, it really helped him out a lot there. Sometimes both players are, hindered in their ability to play the game to its maximum potential because they both have suboptimal draws. And, the deck that can, just rely on having fewer spells but more powerful spells can usually come out ahead there. Strung over Geist, proving itself to be really, really strong there.
Absolutely. It's just, again, it's one of those cards that's almost scary because not only do you have to deal with it twice, but the second time it gets better or worse for you. When you deal with it the first time and you make things worse. Those Sword of Feast and Famines really showing their strength with all these, in most of these matches it's been because it's been green that they've been against, but in this case,
and now
zombies.
It blanks multiple decks.
Yeah, especially when people were playing like mono-colored decks like this, or like really heavy one-color decks.
Cards like Giralf's Messenger really, they encourage people to play monocolored decks.
Yeah.
Is it Giralf's Messenger or Giraffe's Messenger? I know, or Giralf's.
I say Giralf,
right.
But it could be Giralf. Giralf. I think I say Giralf. I don't even know which one I say. Now I'm confused.
Giraffe's Messenger?
It's definitely not Giraffe.
Giraffes. I think it's
Giraffe's
Messenger,
but I think I say Giralf's Messenger. I'll have to listen back to like the podcast and see what I said when I first started talking about it. So
like Gerald.
Like Gerald, but it was a typo, so it came out Giralf. Like that's what pretty much I
only
think
2
happened.
letters off,
It was supposed to be Gerald's Messenger.
Yeah, the F and the D are next to each other on the keyboard. It's easy.
Clearly that's what happened. They were typing,
mistake.
and whoever was making the card, and then just hit that, and they were like, you know what? I like that even better.
That's way better. Gerald's Messenger.
Yeah, it was definitely Gerald's Messenger.
I can't wait till they make the legend. Gerald.
Yeah, and we'll be like, who is Gerald? And it'll have flavor text about his messengers and things. But we won't make sense because the new guy didn't realize that he was supposed to make a typo.
Speaking of Gerald Thompson not making an appearance here this weekend, playing in Pro Tour Honolulu.
He's far, far away in a tropical land.
Yeah, a place that's beautiful, wonderful.
Not 16 degrees like it was when I walked over here today.
Yeah.
It was 16 degrees according to my phone.
Next weekend I'll be in Lincoln, Nebraska, and Star City Games will be in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Yeah.
You guys should head down there. There's going to be hundreds of players, over $14,000 in cash prizes, and I think at least 18 people will end up qualifying for any Star City Games Invitational this year. Now, the Invitational is an incredible event. It's, besides the Pro Tour, it is the highest paying Magic tournament in the world.
Yeah.
And there are different ways you can qualify for this. There are invitational qualifiers. There are super invitational qualifiers where they have prize pools of $1,000, and if you're playing one of these tournaments, first prize in an invitational is $10,000.
Yeah, I mean, we did the commentary for the Invitational back in December, this past December, and that was nuts. I mean, so many great players in the room competing for their cash, and it was just a great event to be at, a great event to watch.
And so a lot of players do really well, and they get really deep in that tournament. Adam Prozac, who's here today,
just came in second place. Yeah. The next Invitational coming up.
Top 8 also.
Oh yeah, that's right. With a 4 or 5 color control deck, right?
Yeah.
Next Invitational we got coming up. There's 4 Invitationals this year.
Yeah.
I mean,
we
had 2 last year.
Doubled the number of Invitationals.
4 this year. The next one is coming up at the end of March in Baltimore. I'll be there doing commentary. So will you?
I'll be there also. So will Sam Stoddard.
Sam Stoddard.
Yeah.
I can't wait to work with Sam.
I'm excited about working with Sam.
Big fan of Sam Stodd. Star City writer and fellow podcaster he's on the In Contention podcast.
Yeah, Sam Stoddard's a pretty strong deck builder himself. I talked to him maybe once ever, and it was after day 2 at Worlds one year, and he was talking about this 5-color Fairies deck in Extended, and I really wanted to get it together to play it the next day, because I didn't have an Extended deck, and then I ended up just borrowing Game Nassif's deck because he wasn't playing the day, and it worked out much better anyway. So.
Oh, well, that's good. But that's your experience. Yeah. Too bad, if you hadn't talked to Sam, who knows what you would have played? Probably the same deck. But
I mean, the deck was very similar to what Sam gave me. It was only 4 cards different besides lands, despite being 1 color instead of 5 colors.
Oh wow. Yeah, Sam does the In Contention podcast, and his podcasting partners, Ruben Bressler and Matt Kranstuber. I think they're all locals here, but unfortunately I don't think Ruben or Sam could make it today, or make it this weekend. They both couldn't make it, but Cranny is here, Matt Kranstuber. He's here. I talked to him a little while ago, so got to meet him for the first time. He's a really great guy. I had him on Yo MTG Taps a couple weeks ago, actually. So I think Neil took a mulligan.
Chris Anderson?
What about Cranderson? Cranderson, isn't that his Twitter name too?
Yeah. Is that what you were talking about? Is that who you're talking about?
No. I was talking about Matt Kranstuber. Sorry.
Okay.
Which is the other guy on the In Contention podcast. It's Sam, Cranny, and Ruben Bressler.
I see right now. I see Chris Anderson, who we were just talking about. Cranderson.
Yeah.
Deep in thought. His opponent playing. Looks like they're playing Mono Black Zombies.
Another Mono Black Zombies deck?
Yeah. These are the top tables over there. Maybe it's the other guy who's 4-0.
Yeah, it probably is. I think both Mono Black Zombies deck are 4-0, yeah. All right, so I think we're ready. There's
the game 3.
Pretty
That's
awesome
the table they're about to play
Star
on.
City tablecloth there. We need Star City playmats that look like that. I think that would look pretty cool.
I agree.
And
a turn 1 Despise.
All right, so we've got Forest, Sword of War and Peace, Garrick, Primal Hunter. What is that?
Strangleroot, guys?
Oh,
Vorapede.
Vorapede is what I'm not recognizing. Yeah, and then Llanowar Elves.
I imagine he's going to take the Stranglegeist here. That seems to be the card that gives his deck the most problems.
Yeah, and it's kind of a 2-for-1 in a way, him taking the Geist here. Not only can it come down really early, but he needs to deal with it with 2 cards, but here Despise actually takes away the Geist. I mean, it's not really a 2-for-1, it's a 1-for-1, but it's a 1 for a 2-for-1.
Yeah, and I mean, it causes nightmares along with the sword, so I think the Stranglegeist is just easy pick here. Oh, well, he chooses to go to the Llanowar Elf.
Okay, well, just really trying to slow things down. Maybe he has another Despise. Figures I'm not going to give you a turn 1 play, and he plays another Despise and goes, I'm not going to give you a turn 2 play either.
Yeah,
maybe that's what he's doing.
Completely reasonable.
Oh, no, it's not what he's doing.
Diagraph cool, and he...
now he must have an answer for the Geist then, I would hope, because I'm much more afraid of the Geist than the Llanowar Elf.
Yeah, I mean, the major issue is just that the Geist combos so well with the swords. And, a black deck doesn't have any way to kill a sword or a planeswalker. So, his opponent getting to 5 lands and casting Garruk Primal Hunter is, something that's going to take a little while that he has some time to formulate a plan for.
Right.
But the Geist plus sword plan is something that probably needs to worry about immediately. Going to green Cincinnati for 1. Looks like taking the Llanowar Elf wasn't that bad. It actually prevented his opponent from finding a 3rd land in time and being able to cast the sword at all. So he's going to green Cincinnati for Llanowar Elf and
Tragic
Slipped.
Slipped on a banana peel, fell into an open grave. Have you seen that? People talking about putting the banana peel, like altered art on the Tragic Slip, just putting a banana peel right under the guy's foot.
I appreciate that.
If somebody's got a picture of that, you should tweet it at SCG Live so I can show JBL. And tag it with SCGCIN too, so that everybody...
I can do that. I can alter my cards now.
Yeah, there you go. I've seen one picture of it. I don't know who did it though.
Tragic Slip. It's a pretty good card.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, Nicholas comes in and attacks Neil for 2. Puts Neil down to 14.
Nick does have his 3rd forest finally.
Yeah, and casts the Dungrove Elder.
Neil is really, he's finally hitting his 2nd land here. I mean, as much as he was setting Nicholas back, he is pretty set back himself. Wow.
Yeah, he's got to take that Sword of War and Peace. There's sort of Feast
and Famine, and then sees the same 3 Garruk, Sword, and Vorapede that were in the hand on turn 1. So Distress doing a little bit of work there. I think Neil was hoping to take the Sword of War and Peace, but had a much better target.
Yeah.
All right, so Dungrove Elder. It's a 3/3. And so in for 5 against Neil here.
And Nicholas going to play a sword. And again, I said it before and I'll say it again. Sword of War and Peace in conjunction with Stranglegeist is really powerful also. Especially against Neil's deck that has a lot of ways to make you sacrifice creatures. The haste just makes it so strong.
Yeah.
I think he'll equip it to the Dungrove Elder first if it's still in play on his turn, because he wants to make sure that Neil can't respond with a way to target it. But in general, just the fact that he has a Stranglegeist on the table with that sort of War and Peace is going to make it really, really difficult for Neil to do anything.
I'm wondering how good these Skursdag High Priests are, because it wasn't very impressive last game, and right now he's under some pressure here, and I don't know if Skursdag High Priest is the card I want in my hand, or on the table, I guess.
Yeah, the game looks like it's getting into a spot where Neil's going to have a lot of trouble winning. And now this Sword of War and Peace gets picked up by Dungrove Elder, and Nicholas is going to attack Neil for 7.
5, 6, 7, and then another
plus,
4.
So Skursdag High Priest is going to have to jump block that Dungrove Elder, and Neil's going to take another 2.
I guess the Skursdag High Priest does chump block well.
It does chump block.
Modern challenge players, your pairings are posted on the side of this board. Please find your seats.
Neil's having another 2 mana. Oh, just 1. Guessing Gravecrawler and then passing his turn. Nicholas untapping his lands and then sending in again.
Modern challenge players.
Paragraph Gold blocks the Denver Melder, and Neil falls down to 5 now.
So modern challenge players, if you gather by the side of this board, your head judge Raul will be bringing that over to you momentarily.
There it is.
And that's it. Nicholas Ramsey
Yeah.
with another Dungro Melder deck defeats Neil Michalares and his mono black zombies. In game 1, we saw the mono black zombies deck work at its full capacity, but in games 2 and 3, it stumbled quite a bit. In game 2,